Welcome, everybody, to episode 22, otherwise known as the Blue episode.
The Blue episode.
Of Understable Minds. My name is Anthony. Eric McCabe sitting here right in the middle with the same shirt. So it'll be a little tough to tell us apart. And then to his left...
Especially on audio.
Right. To his left is AJ, also in the same shirt. So good luck telling us three apart.
Yeah.
Danny is the man behind the curtain, behind the glass, doing all of the things that make us look and sound as good as we possibly can.
It's a lot of work, let me tell you.
Right.
Also wearing blue.
It takes
Also
a
wearing
minute.
blue.
Yeah,
a different blue, but still
different blue.
Blue
different
enough.
vibe, but still blue.
Right.
Slightly different vibe.
We're going to start off episode 22 with a little game that I've got for you guys. We're going to have you guys guess the player. I'm going to give you some facts about a player, and you have to, in your head, guess a player, and then I'll give you a stat you can guess if you want, or you can hear another one for less points.
Oh, I like this.
Are you guys ready?
I am.
I already know that it's not going to be Big Pun because he is not a player.
Okay.
He just crushes a lot.
The first stat.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. He's like over 500.
I'm just going to ignore you.
Yeah.
The first stat for full points. I have the lowest OB rate in my division.
I know it.
Nice, dude.
Do you have a name?
I have an answer.
Okay. Lock it in. Eric will have a guess for full credit. AJ, would you also have a guess? You only get one guess. You going to lock your answer in, or do you want to hear another stat for 75% credit?
Oh. Yeah, give me another stat.
Stat number 2. Eric, you can't change
I didn't
your mind.
have an educated guess, by the way, for that
AJ,
first one.
Stat number 2. I may not be known for my putting, but I rank 3rd in C1X putting for my division.
Oh.
Okay.
You didn't change it.
Eric's writing his answer down. Danny's no longer behind the curtain, behind the glass. Danny is now back behind the curtain, behind the glass.
You almost saw my face. No.
AJ, stat number 2.
Whoa. He's been in the same building the whole time?
Yeah. He's quick. Stat number 2.
Whoa.
I may not be known for my putting, but I rank 3rd in C1X for my division.
And also lowest OB rate. Man, I got a few different guesses.
You can hear another one for, we'll call it
stats.
50% points.
Go.
Do you want to hear another
50
stat?
points.
And as these stats go, they should.
Not points.
Well, there's 100 points.
Well, I did not say that.
He did not. He said 4. Didn't you tell me I got 4 points?
I never gave a
So I'm
number.
playing for
I
2
thought he said
points
4
now.
points.
Nah, it's just percentages.
2.
You just get 50%.
We just play percentages.
Right.
Okay.
Do you want to hear more? As the stats go, they should give
are
you
there
a
more
clearer
questions, or am I just
There's
like,
2 more, apparently.
I have
assume.
three. I have 3 more stats.
And
okay.
if you get the last one, if you have to go all the way to the end, you don't get any points. I get points.
and we're only guessing one player.
You only get one player. You get one guess. You're either right or wrong.
He's gonna give me so many hints
I know.
that he's gonna basically spell out the player's name.
Do you want me to keep going, or do you have a guess?
DREW. Yeah, give me another stat.
Okay.
I'm losing it.
Stat number 3. My average finish this year is on the podium.
Oh.
Jeez, that's good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, I've got my answer.
You've got your answer? Okay.
I just think I got 0 points on this.
Okay. Eric,
Based off the first one was my...
so rip your sticky note off. Give AJ the sticky note and Sharpie
Oh, you can see it still.
so that he can write
I
in
can see on your sticky.
his answer. And then when he's
Don't read my
done,
sticky.
I will give you guys the last 2 stats, and we'll see if you still feel confident in your answers, if you're feeling a little bit nervous.
I already am with the podium one.
You're nervous? Ooh.
I'm not nervous. I just think I got it
Shit,
wrong.
You might get 0%.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right. AJ has already begun writing. So
Wouldn't be the first time.
stat number 4. I switched bag sponsors this past off season.
I'm done.
Can you see that?
And the final stat, which this would probably give it away.
I think I got this.
That one and then this one.
Did. I did not.
So good.
I play in the FPO division.
No, I did not.
Did
get
not
this
get it.
one.
Okay.
Well, actually,
Let's. All right, Eric, you locked in first.
I
Who
did.
was
I
your
said
guess?
Chris Clemens based off of your first OB because he
had the lowest OB rate.
You fool.
Yes, he did.
2021.
last year. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. That's why I picked Clemens.
Chris Clemens was not the answer. AJ?
Obviously.
and that was the first name I had in mind too.
Yeah.
And that's what I said was I said, I don't have an educated guess.
So you were educated on some more stats. Who was your final guess?
My final guess was
Drew Gibson is also obviously wrong. Drew does not also play in FPO.
How's he doing though in OB and putting though? I feel
is it Valerie?
The correct answer is Valerie Mondojano. Yes, sir.
So I should get like half a point for.
You don't.
Okay.
You got the team right.
Like these points even matter.
They
What
don't.
is this? Whose line is it
how
anyway?
How many points are there? 100?
I don't mean to
Look at
brag,
that.
but I definitely,
full flight.
I definitely got it right, guys.
There's percents.
Dang.
I didn't write it down or anything, but that's what I was thinking of.
The almost matching shades.
I was thinking of that as soon as he said as soon as he said I play in the FPO.
I thought as soon as he said a player, I was like, oh, it's Valerie. I
probably
just
Val.
didn't say anything about it.
It makes sense.
And so I should get 150%.
You got
sure.
it. You get whatever you want there.
Hey,
course.
thank you. That makes me feel pretty good.
So that's
It's like the participation trophy,
Yeah.
but winning.
But 150%. You get someone else's participation trophy on the weekends.
nice. All right, let's move on into the actual show. First and foremost, obviously the biggest news that people are probably wanting to hear about. Sitting
shirt.
on the table in front of us, we don't have matching shirts. We're actually wearing our shirts. Is a prototype Sockibomb slammer. Eric, you between the three of us have the most experience with this. Just can you give us kind of a brief rundown of it? What is it similar to? What does it fly like, etc.?
Yeah. So I actually did. I put together a small clip on my Instagram. It's kind of more of a teaser because you don't get to see the flight, but it's. I did come out on the weekend and throw. I threw the Saki Slammer, the Culprit, and the Ricky Harps. I wanted to throw all three of them side by side to get an idea on stabilities. And, all three of them do kind of feel similar. Obviously, the Sockibomb Slammer has the thumb track on the top, like the Slammer.
Right.
Initial Slammer did. And the bottom feels very similar to the Harp. It's a little deeper than the Harp, and I think a lot of that comes from the thumb track on the top.
Yeah.
But it does feel great in the hand, and it is 100% overstable. Like
I have the clip if we want to show that.
Sure.
I have it all.
Oh, neat.
This is from Ricky's Instagram,
What up, Rick?
where you can also go win one.
Yeah.
Right. Ricky is doing a little giveaway.
He yanks that on Anheuser, and it panned out, and the left side of the disc hits the ground first.
Yes.
Right. And that's
So real quick though, that is not the actual clip that he's giving away on. There's another reel on his page that he did a video of him giving them away. If you go and purchase a mystery box on his Instagram page, I think is where it is. Or maybe it's his website. I'm not sure. Go there, check it out, figure it out.
He's got the info.
And you can buy one of these, or you may get a Fusion Burst Evader from Texas States, which are sick also.
Yes.
And I think there was one other disc in there too. But anyway, it's very overstable. It was surprisingly more overstable than I thought it was going to be. And the Culprit is overstable.
Mm-hmm.
And and it was pretty windy when I was out there throwing it Saturday, and it went relatively straight.
Mm-hmm.
The Culprit did, with some nice predictable fade at the end. The Harp, another step over to the left, and then obviously the Slammer is a whole other realm of overstability.
Jeez.
So it goes in that order as far as stability goes. But for some players, I could see a couple of them bagging two. But
kind of work
all
one
three, I think, would be overkill if you if you bagged all three of those discs. But it kind of depends on what you like. If you like that thumb track and you like very overstable that you can really put a lot of meat behind and not have to worry about it flipping over or fluttering out, that's definitely what you're going to be looking for.
Yeah, and the Harp, like you were talking about, the Harp and the Sockibomb Slammer feel similar. The Slammer maybe a little bit deeper, and it's got that thumb track, where the Culprit is. It definitely feels different.
It does.
The flight of the three is all going to be kind of in that overstable approach realm, but the feel on the Culprit it's a lot more shallow. The rim might be a little bit wider. It might
Probably right,
it feels maybe a little bit more like a Suspect, where the Slammer and Harp kind of feel like each other.
Yes.
More like a traditional putter that just
I mean, the bottom of it looks like if you put them up next to each other, it looks like a Slammer top, Harp bottom.
Yeah, the shape is very much in that realm for sure.
Oh, shape. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
like we talked about, Ricky's giving some away. Hit up his Instagram at Sockibomb13 for full details and information on how you can potentially get one that way, or tuned.
Wait 1 week.
Yep, to dynamicdiscs.com on April the 19th. we will be releasing some. I don't know how many we have. I think it's relatively limited.
It'll be on the low end of prototypes.
Okay.
But the first runs will follow, and they're pretty special too. There's something special about the first runs as well, but
cool.
But these protos are fantastic.
And those, do we have a date for the first runs?
We do not have
later.
We're still waiting. They're in transit.
Gotcha.
So we're still waiting on those to all be here so we can.
Okay.
Them, so.
Perfect. Yeah. So April 19th, you can pick up the prototypes.
Yeah.
Be sure to do that. I believe it's 11 a.m. Central Time. Do that as quickly as possible, as they will probably go pretty quick. You want to get your order in and not miss out. First run's coming at a to be determined later date.
Yes.
But
exciting nonetheless.
Very exciting nonetheless.
It's Ricky's first disc that he's ever been able to like officially like design.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like get a hold of the designer and say, hey, here's what I want. And I love the way the harp feels. I love the way the slammer has the thumb track on the top. Let's see what we can do. And he, as per usual, Thomas killed it. So
right. Yeah. Did exactly what Ricky was asking for. Yeah. Like you said, kind of built to his specifications for 19, Danny. But yes, 11 a.m. Central Time.
Nobody screenshotted that?
Nope. Should we move on to the past? We talked about the future. Let's jump to the past.
Oh, gonna go back.
This past weekend, there was the Open at Tallahassee. I guess it was Open at Tallahassee.
Yeah, I don't think they called it the Open though, like the Open at Tallahassee, but it was, yeah.
Okay. The winners.
The Tallahassee.
This was a Pro Tour Silver Series, so not full, completely stacked fields, but the way that the sport has grown, like
still good
Silver
fields.
Series still have unbelievable fields.
Oh, yeah.
Albert Tom took it down in the MPO division, and Stacy Haas, I believe it is Haas, took it down in the FPO division.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them were obviously well-deserving, nothing like that. But if you were to go into the weekend, those would not have been the favorites. Those would not have been the odds. The odds would not have been in their favor to take it down. So I thought it was really interesting that we had, kind of an upset, so to speak, on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like one person kind of ran away with it on the FPO side, and then on the MPO side there was an upset. Do you guys think that that's going to happen more often? Mm-hmm. That there will be kind of less of the Paul, Ricky, Eagle, Calvins in MPO and less of the Katrina, Page?
Absolutely, on the Silver Series side of things.
Well, sure.
Yeah. But,
sure. Well, yeah, it's hard for them to win if they're not there.
Well, according to my predictions, yes. Because I did predict there'd be 2 new MPO winners this year.
Albert's definitely won.
Yep.
On the Elite Series?
On the Elite Series, that was what I believe mine.
Does a Silver Series count? I don't.
It's not an Elite Series
think
event.
It does.
I think it's just Silver Series. So.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we'll see more and more of that as soon as people start to get, more comfortable with their games and more comfortable playing these bigger events and getting a little bit more relaxed. Like, like we almost had it at the first event of the year. I mean, Gannon was 1 putt away from being 1 down. I mean, that's. So I definitely think we're going to see more and more of that throughout this season.
Yeah, I think it's exciting.
Yeah. I think that we are going to, on the Elite Series for the rest of the year, we are going to see the typical names on the MPO side. You've got your top 5 that's been that way for a couple of years. Paul, Ricky, Eagle, Calvin, and Dickerson. Mm-hmm. And then you've got like a few other guys.
Where's Eagle at now too is the other question. Like how is...
Well, he's in Georgia right now.
Is he? Okay.
He'll be playing.
Good deal.
And so I just think that we're going to see those 5. Those 5 will be in the top 10, but then the other 5, I think we'll see, more people fill out that second.
So are you predicting right now that the 5 people you just mentioned are going to be in the top 5 at every single Elite Series event?
No,
because that was kind of
I think I said top.
We weren't talking about top 10. We were talking about winners,
right?
So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think we're going to see more and more players in contention? Because a lot of these events, 6th place going into the final day is in contention.
True.
So
I mean, yeah, in the winner's circle or on the podium. No, I mean, yeah, I keep expanding it.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's real. It's
You do.
It's like it's really difficult to pick winners.
Well, we're not saying like pick a winner. The question just was,
Well, yeah,
are
you
we
are.
going to see new players? And you keep going back to the same 5, which is great because those 5 are fantastic.
My point was going to be that of the top 10, we'll have those 5 names somewhere in the top 10. And then the other 5 that make up that top 10 we're going to see a lot more diversity
Variety,
than we've
yeah.
seen
Sure.
in the past few, 5 years or so. Because in the past 5 years, it's really been that top 10 is kind of set and you can almost pick them. But now over the, since the COVID shutdown and beyond, it seems like, we've had more second tier players, or we've had more players make it to that level as well.
Right. And I think it's just because it's kind of due to everyone is just getting better. Right. So the difference between the elite tier 1 players, the top 5 that you were talking about, the difference between those people and then a second tier quote unquote player, that gap is shrinking.
It is.
Right. Like the top players are getting better, but there's so many more people that are in that tier 2, that ceiling and that barrier kind of just keeps getting pushed and is kind of encroaching on those top 5. Like a lot of times I've seen people talk about a top 4 and they don't include Dickerson in there.
Yeah.
Right. And like the dude's top 5 in the world for sure. But like, it's just the way that the sport is growing and the talent pool is increasing. It's kind of like, it's almost like the mob is starting to engulf those people. Where, it might be like, I don't know how accurate this would be to say, but like the PGA has a number 1 rated golfer, but it doesn't seem, in my very limited golf watching experience, it doesn't seem like the number 1 golfer is a runaway number 1. Not anymore, right? When Tiger was number 1, he was number 1 for a decade or whatever.
And
but
if you watched this past week,
right. Scotty Scheffler,
Scotty was making putts from everywhere.
Right. But
it was crazy.
It's a lot. There's a lot more parity at the top level.
Yes.
And it kind of seems like we're close to that.
Right.
Or getting closer to that. We're kind of getting more of that. Both on the MPO and the FPO side. Right. I'm sure Stacey Haas is a name that's new to the overwhelming majority of the disc golf world. People might know Albert from his bazooka thing or from European Open, or just when they look up who are the top European players, he's up there. So they might be a little bit more familiar with him. And I think it's just kind of a testament to that.
For sure.
It's
just hard. I just don't like to pick the winner.
Sure.
I don't know. Or I don't like to speculate too much on that because there's just more chance.
That's fine, but that was the question.
Well, of course there. Yeah.
So I mean,
there were 100.
It's fine. You don't want to answer the question,
right? There was 116 people that played in the Open division. Only one of them wins.
Right.
Where 9 more of them finished inside the top 10. So it was really interesting to see Albert won wire to wire.
He killed it first round.
The first 2 rounds were incredible. He shot a 1080 and then a 1054. Obviously had the hot round 1, hot round 2. Round 3, he shot a 999.
Oh, bummer. Didn't
even break the 1,000 rating barrier. Still held on to win by 2. Matteo made a huge move, shooting a 52. Double G had the hot round of a 51. But Matteo jumped up, I forget how many spots. I think like 8 spots to come in second place.
There's a lot that goes into that final round, though. There's a lot of decisions that are being made when you have a lead like that, to where you can't look at that last round and be like, oh, well, he played like garbage.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, was for you guys. Albert shot a 2 down, which wasn't bad, but would not, if he did that over 3 rounds, it's not enough to win or come close. He finished the event at 20 under par.
Yep.
If he were at 6, he wouldn't be remotely close to that. But in the last third of the course, so from hole 12 to hole 18, he finished even par. He birdied hole 12, parred 13, 14, 15, 16, bogeyed 18 and bogeyed 17, parred 18. Do you guys think that, I guess, what do you think the breakdown of nerves impacting him and kind of hampering his performance? Or do you think it was more of the fact, like, I know I've got, at this point, he had, what would it be? Probably like 6 strokes on Matteo, 5 or 6 strokes, and just kind of like, okay, put it in the fairway, put it in the fairway, put it in the fairway. Just don't lose the tournament.
Right. It's tough to change your game plan. Yeah. It's I know a lot of players will just stick to that aggressive game plan, but I mean, playing extra conservative that final round, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'll take the W over whatever the rating is any day.
100%.
So
yeah,
and winning nowadays is pretty legit. I mean, it's
tough. It's only getting harder.
Exactly. Even at these Silver Series events. So, that last round, especially the back nine, is very ultra conservative. Like, be aggressive when you can safely be aggressive, but if there's an island hole and you have an opportunity to lay up and save strokes and you're not feeling confident about that shot, by all means, lay it up.
Yeah. Is that about when you, and I guess I'll ask you the same thing, AJ, is that when you would kind of start to shift into that mindset, is like the back nine of the final round?
Typically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least start looking at that. And
because you'll know 3, 4, 5 holes into that final round where you're at and if it's going to be a battle or if you're going to be able to put it on cruise control.
Yeah. Same for you, AJ?
What was the exact question?
When you're leading in the final round of an event, when do you start to kind of change your game plan from I need to come out and shoot as good as I can to like just keep it in the fairways, put myself in spots where I'm not going to get in trouble, don't lose the tournament, rather than I need to go out and attack and win this thing? It's already like, all right, I've got the win pretty much secured, just don't fumble it.
Right. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. I mean, I think everybody's different, but I think when you say game plan, that's a big part of it, because when you get to that really specific instance, that situation where one is in the lead at a big event, and especially if it's multiple rounds, multiple days, there's just that the pressure and the context of the situation that builds. Now, of course, all the one can formulate a routine to kind of battle those effects,
right?
But that's just the nature of that beast. That final round Elite Series event on the lead card is the pressure and the context of not only the whole week, but probably the whole season builds up to that point. And it's going to be different, the amount of pressure or the relative amount of pressure that each of those players feels in that situation is going to be different based upon how many times they've been there. If it's the first event of the season, the 20th event of the season, whatever. But that pressure comes in, and that's subjective pressure. Whereas objective pressure is, can I throw the disc straight? And like what you said, can I just not fumble it? And that's the pressure of one's own objective skill. And then subjective skill is that game plan. And so it's trying to balance that. And I think that, again, when you pressurize the situation, you put all that context in, it becomes more difficult to balance. You're, instead of standing on a mountaintop, you're now standing on a footstool.
Yeah.
And so then when it comes time to execute that game plan, now there's different levels of complexity to each and every shot that goes into that game plan. Some shots on a certain course are just as easy as a pitch hyzer,
right.
2/3 swing pitch hyzer with, something like a slow approach disc. That's going to be pretty easy because those players have done that in the field, on the course,
right?
Every which way. They've just tossed the disc. So there's less subjective knowledge that goes into that. But then when you get into like an island hole, like you said, and you raise the speed of the disc and what we know to be that variability, then it's like you really start to feel the wobble in that footstool that I mentioned. So sometimes it's, and I'll say that it's easier in the first rounds of an event to crank up the intensity that it takes to throw those difficult shots. Whereas at the end of the event, again, with all that context coming in, it's pretty difficult to turn up the intensity and remain consistent and accurate and in control. But players have done it time and time again. And that's really why they deserve those big money contracts.
Right.
It's something that you that you can't really put into, I kind of put it into words, but it's hard to measure it.
Kind of.
I tried my best. I really did.
So we've got a question from the chat here, and this is a little bit more of maybe an outdated question. It's kind of something that the game is moving away from. But Matt asks,
2 meter rule.
Yeah. Matt asks, would you guys change your game plan for events that had a final 9? Would you change your game plan going into the final 9?
If the layout is different,
so
in the final 9 than it is in the regular tournament course,
and a lot of times it is.
Yeah.
A lot of times it is.
That is an old school question though.
It is.
Right.
And luckily we're both old school players.
Yeah, I did not change my game plan at Worlds, and I had a 3-stroke lead going into the final 9.
Yeah, I feel
and won by 5. So I did not change my game plan. I stayed aggressive because that's what was working for me at the time. Granted, the course that we were playing didn't have a lot of trouble on it. So I was able to stay aggressive and run putts. There wasn't a lot of OB. Like today's courses, you see a lot of more out of bounds or challenges in that regard. And there wasn't a lot of that then. It was tight lines you had to hit, but I just wanted to stick to my personal game plan.
Yep.
And I did so.
AJ,
I did this because I have an example when I made made the finals at an event, and the one you just mentioned, the 2010 World Championships, those holes that you played in that final 9 were all holes that you had played during the tournament, right?
No, incorrect. Half of them were.
Was it the same Safari layout they used in 2012?
I don't think so, because I think they changed the course.
Okay.
There was like 3 holes that were the same, or 4, and then 3 or 4 that were Safari holes.
Oh, okay.
Something like that, like 4 and 5 or something like that.
Okay, well then that's going to be pretty similar to the experience that I'm thinking of. I want to say it was 2015 Greater Hartford Open in Connecticut. And I made the finals, and we played a finals layout. I think it might have been either 5 or 7 holes, but it was really long. It was close to like, I don't know how many feet, but super long holes that we didn't play during the event.
Yeah.
And so I blended those two kind of game plans of subjective of, okay, I'm going to throw this disc this many feet into this fairway. I blended that kind of game plan with the objective game plan with my own aggressiveness, I guess it is.
Aggressiveness
on the course. Yeah. And I kept I stayed aggressive when I knew that I could.
Yeah.
When I knew, like, in myself. When
there was no super troubles or anything like that, or you were confident in the shot.
I think it was, I think what ended up taking over was that it was that positive quality. It was the confidence in the shot. And then also recognizing that, well, I've never practiced this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of like a beginner's luck, kind of like fearless approach. That's what I'm remembering as well. It's like, I don't have anything to be afraid of because I've never thrown this uphill this 400-foot uphill island shot, but I've got this disc in my hand that I've been throwing all week, or all year, and I've been crushing it.
Yeah.
And I know,
and I'm confident with it.
Yes.
And
so it was like, okay, well, I know that I'm good and I know I'm feeling it today. So I'm just going to put this up there. And and so it's just like this kind of intrinsic nature that I think that takes over.
Yeah.
Awesome. But
to bring back Final Nines,
change.
I love it.
Yeah, please.
I love it. As a spectator, I love it.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know how many times the lead in the tournament has actually changed in those final 9s, but like if I were a player being able to play when there is literally nothing else going on and everyone, it feels like you would get that whole 18 environment of like you're putting on hole 18 and everybody's watching.
Yeah.
You'd get that for 9 holes. And I loved watching.
Absolutely. And especially if you're in 4th place going into that final 9 and only a couple strokes back,
just go for it.
You are super aggressive.
Who cares?
Right.
Run everything.
Yeah. When it's like that, like you've made it. And
I'm not dropping anywhere.
4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like definitely tip the scales towards that objective confidence.
Right.
Like, just just give me the ball.
Yeah.
I don't care who's trying to tackle me.
Right. So huge congratulations to Albert and Stacy on their wins. Both of them first-time winners on the Pro Tour. Congratulations to them. Job well done.
Yeah. Albert was the first European male to win on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
That's not true.
That's what they said.
That's what
Statmando said, and then Paul.
They put out a correction. Yeah, Simon won.
He won the Memorial.
He won the Memorial, and he won 2015
GBO.
Ledgestone.
He also won GBO. I know that was an NT, but
right.
still,
That was before.
Still,
right. Yeah, his Pro Tour win was at Memorial,
Yep.
and then his most recent National Tour win was 2015 Ledgestone.
Got it.
Yes,
but then wasn't. What
First
year
of the
did he win
year.
GBO?
2014.
The year before that, then. Okay. Either way,
Because
I know he won it.
Did he win it before Cam Todd?
Yeah.
Because I think those two went 13-14.
13-14. Okay.
Because those were the years that I was here playing.
Could be.
Yeah. Okay. Before we move on to Champions Cup this coming weekend's major, AJ Risley, it's your turn for the Player of the Week, the Understable Minds Player of the Week. This is worth as much prestige, if not more, than the points for our Guess Our Player game at the beginning of the show.
Okay.
So please let them know who it is that you're picking as the Player of the Week. The reward is already on the way, but let the people know who it is that you've chosen.
Okay. Stacy Haas. Segment over.
Reasoning, rewind 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Stacy, yeah. Stacy. Okay. I originally wrote down two players, both the winners that you just mentioned, Albert and Stacy, winners of the Open at Tallahassee in the two professional divisions. And I did a little breakdown, a little compare and contrast, and I gave it to, well, let's see. Albert was first in greens and regulations, both circle 1 and 2. Pretty impressive.
Cool.
For the whole event. First in birdies as well, so his putts were on. Stacy, also first in birdies in her division. First in scrambles, first in bounce backs, first in fairways hit, first in strokes gained total.
So basically, what was she not first in?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like the only thing she wasn't first in was bogey percentage, probably.
Well, she was first in bounce back, so she did have some bogeys. But I think it was, putting. I think she got beat on the putting green by a slight margin. Slight margin.
And she's very impressive on the putting green as well.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Did you watched a bit of
I watched a little bit on Sunday, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool.
I believe it. But I gave Stacy the edge over Albert. Albert, like you said, had a hot round 1 and round 2. Close to, but he wasn't close to going hot round each round. To me, I feel like that is a pretty good mark.
That would have been enough to bump him up past Stacy for.
I would have definitely given him the Player of the Week. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But Stacy was only
good to know.
Stacy had hot round, first round, and final round,
but not middle round.
Middle
so
round,
by your standards,
she was 2 strokes off.
But when you weight it, the final round matters more, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
well, not
she
only
had a
was
better final round. She shot 7 down. Albert only shot 2.
Oh,
yeah,
Albert was in the lead. She was in second going into the final round. Had to jump somebody.
all of those things.
Okay.
Right.
All of them.
All of those
I'm
things.
with you. I'm with you.
no, I'm in
Stacey,
agreement.
great. Yeah, great.
Either one of them would have been great picks this week.
So who are you picking for next week?
Who am I going to nominate?
Who are you nominating for next week's super official, highly coveted nominator? Is it really nominating if there's not
Nominee?
there's
not
only
really.
one person that gets chosen?
right? Yeah.
Well, let's see. We
suppose.
got Champions Cup. I'll also shout out Player of the Week to Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
That was
You have
super
to.
impressive. I think that was wire to wire, wasn't it? Did he? No, he didn't have the
not-
hot
not-
first round.
Not
Yeah.
the first.
But
yeah.
he
has not been playing golf very long, which is even more impressive.
really, yeah.
He would have been a good one to pick. He's won like 4 of his last 6 events or something insane. Yeah.
He good.
Yeah.
So he won.
Pretty impressive. But I'll nominate you.
This
Tony.
guy?
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
I want to see what who
I'm gonna
your
break
pick is
some
after
rules.
the Champions Cup.
Again. Probably someone that has nothing to do with disc golf.
Can we do that? Can we do like a
How about this?
Player of the Week that's the non-winner?
If you are nominated to pick the Player of the Week, AJ, as long as you have a valid reason for picking them, go for it.
Well,
I've picked the whole Jomez staff before. I've picked NFL players before.
oh, okay.
I've only picked one person, and it was Johnny McRae.
The closest thing that I've picked to, I think, an actual disc golfer was Terry Miller, when there was just like a lull in coverage and he was out at Shelly Sharp or something.
So
like
what
that.
I'm gathering is Danny and I are just here why these two just pick each
We just
other.
pass it back.
I've picked
That's
Johnny
cool.
McRae and then Chandler Fry.
Yeah.
EMAC, you have picked Johnny
picked me?
McRae
Who
and
nominated me
Valerie
last week?
Monduhano.
Yeah.
That was on episode 19 and a half.
Danny had it last week.
I did, yeah. I picked
There you
Chandler
go.
Fry.
And then he
picked you.
nominated me. Oh, boy.
I see how it is.
Awkward. Now I'm nominating
Now
Tony.
you're nominating me.
Yeah, great.
Wait,
It's because our shirts match.
Good.
That's probably
Yeah.
what it was.
Well,
All right.
and what I'm saying is can I
Cool.
Can
All right,
I
cool.
now,
Sounds
Good talk.
can I now nominate you to pick someone who doesn't win?
No.
Doesn't win? He might not pick a winner. You don't have to be a winner.
It's a pretty safe bet I won't pick a winner.
Okay.
The way I've been picking people.
Then I'm really content with my nomination.
Cool. Let's move on to Champions
Facts.
Cup, the upcoming major that takes place this weekend in Georgia at the
Georgia.
IDGC. This is a new major, but it's not a new course. This is a course that people that have been around the game for a little while are at least going to be somewhat familiar with. They hosted the
11
18?
PDGA Championship
18
Worlds.
It was either 18 or 19.
It was 17.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, 18 was Vermont. 19 was not
You're right.
Vermont. 19 was Illinois.
19 was, yes, you're right. Yeah, 2017 Worlds. It was at W.R. Jackson and Fort something.
Fort Gordon.
Fort Gordon. Yes.
Which was it was a good course. I liked it.
Yeah.
W.R. Jackson is the only course they're playing for Champions Cup.
W.R. Jackson is the only course.
It's it. The rest have been pulled.
It's
Sorry about
it
your
is
home
something
course.
special.
Okay, talk to me about the course then.
I can't wait to watch.
A lot of trees.
Lots of trees.
A lot of trees. It's a mostly wooded course. It's a John Houck design.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting something pretty well thought out. Long fairways, lots of par fives.
Very scenic. I feel like a lot of the holes are kind of like I don't mean 2-shot holes as in like a par 4. It's kind of like a 2 fairway hole of like you can throw backhand hyzer or you can throw backhand turnover. And there's kind of a left side and a right side. And it kind of gives you options. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's
Wait, I'll interrupt you
that's definitely a trademark of a John Houck designed course.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of corners to be turned in the same hole.
Yes.
I think
Landing zones.
for sure. Yeah.
A lot of landing zones.
Yeah. A lot of landing zones that aren't always going to be in the furthest spot that one could travel down the fairway.
Yes.
So there's just a lot for the player to think about. I think the location, it's right that the course is right off of a lake in those Georgia pines. Pretty sure they're pines. And so there's, it's pretty densely wooded, but there's also a lot of elevation change being pretty close to a body of water.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a great combination, woods and elevation. Yeah. And then,
it'd be interesting to see how spectators work on as wooded as this course is.
For sure. Yeah. That will be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think we'll see, I mean, based off of the coverage that that we will be able to watch. I wouldn't imagine seeing spectators on every hole.
Right.
Or even like in the fairway, but just maybe up near the basket on 6 or 9 holes.
Yeah. They've obviously, like we were talking about, they've hosted big events before. They've had spectators there. So there has to be some sort of way to.
But they haven't hosted a big event since the spectator boom happened.
Right. It'll be interesting to see. I wonder I haven't seen if they're limiting the number of people or if they're just limiting where. Like I remember at Texas State's, there was a section of the course that I think it was like a VIP spectator pass would get you into. That was kind of you could if you were a regular spectator.
For Dynamic just open too for Jones.
Right. Yeah. So ours, because we had 2 different courses. But I wonder for this if they're doing the similar thing where you can get to the first few holes and then you catch back up on hole 10 or whatever.
Right.
That's what they did.
You're
in
probably
Texas.
right.
Hey guys, real quick, I was just looking up stats
Danny.
and I found this grip 6. You guys want to help me do my grip 6 picks real quick?
Grip 6, pick 6.
Well, let's go for it.
So it's you get 6 total players. 6 picks can be a combination of MPO and FPO players. you get a point for each stroke that each player finishes behind the winner of their division, and it's like golf where points are bad.
And there's no ratings.
There's no like
cap.
salary cap or anything?
Nothing. It's just pick 6.
But it's 2 FPOs, correct? Or is it 3?
Your picks can be a combination of MPO and FPO players.
MPO
So it could be 6 of one,
Yeah.
none of the other.
Half dozen of the other, if you will.
Do we want
So-
to throw a stipulation that there has to be 2 FPOs?
I think you should do 2
I'm trying to win a belt, man.
Trying to
what
win
if
a
the-
belt,
what if you
so
get
that
FPO
means
first and
all
second?
6 FPO. If you pick the top 6 in FPO, do you think what do you
worth
think's
a
more
belt.
difficult to do? Picking the top 6 in MPO or FPO?
I would say
Order
MPO
doesn't matter.
just
MPO.
based on field size.
Yeah.
There's just more people in the MPO division.
So it's more difficult.
Yes.
So let's win a belt.
Let's get Danny
6
that belt.
FPO players.
Well,
All
okay,
right,
let's.
Who do we want to start with then?
All right, I'd rather just banter. Sorry.
I think it's.
You got to pick Rick.
I was going
go.
to say, I feel like it's a
Hey,
safe
let's go,
bet
Rick.
to pick Ricky. He won in Texas,
He
skipped the
won
Silver Series.
This event last time it was there,
Right.
the major at least, not the Worlds, but the major that was here. He won that
Like 11 years ago.
Probably
when he was putting with
stoked.
daggers. I think it was because I remember seeing a video of him putting with a dagger there.
So we've come full circle.
Pretty sure.
All right.
17 worlds.
So Ricky's locked.
Yeah, he
I
didn't.
feel like
he win that one?
Chris Dickerson is
Yeah, he
a
won
great
He did.
choice.
Yes,
Dickerson was another name that
so he's
came to
won
my mind.
both
Just because he's
because he won the
so
major.
good in the woods.
Yes. And yeah, I like Dickerson a lot as a pick.
Do we like Matty O?
I love Matty.
I like Matty O as a
I
pick
sure do
too.
like
Oh, you're
Matty
saying
O.
for a pick?
Yeah.
Matthew.
Because
kidding.
like
Of course.
his game is very much in the woods, but
Yeah.
I feel like he's not. I don't know, just because he hasn't won recently. So I think
I mean,
if we're
he just
trying to
came in
pick
second.
winners, I don't know.
They all can't win.
That
Calvin.
is true.
Pick
You
Calvin.
think Vinny?
He won
Nah.
He won 2018 Hall of Fame Classic.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Shoot.
It was at that course. It was played on that course. And
The
if you think-
exact course.
I think so. Well, they might have
they
made some
played it,
changes.
yeah.
Was that when he went to a playoff with Adam?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe that was 19 then,
2018. Yeah, he didn't
18
win.
sounds right.
but it's not
It's
because
not 2018.
Barsby almost won Worlds and then
Yeah,
won
he
the
won
Hall of Fame
2019
Classic
though.
like 2
Okay.
weeks after, which would have been crazy, but he didn't. Macbeth got him by 1.
Wow.
That was 2018. 2019, yeah, Calvin and Hamas went
Yeah.
to a playoff. And I say Calvin because I'm thinking, okay, who's got Woods game, but then also this is a 10,000 foot course. Who's got both? Who's got distance in the woods? It's Calvin.
Mhm.
Calvin definitely has that.
Do we like Eagle here?
It's scary.
Not if I'm trying to win a belt for my boy Danny.
First one. Yeah, his first
Sorry,
event
Eagle.
back. I mean,
And he's probably not leaning on forehand still. So
Yeah.
He just flew in, so his arms are probably pretty tired.
Yeah.
a lot of flaps to get there from Colorado.
Sorry.
Do we pick Adam then? Because he was up there in 2019?
No,
Adam hasn't
he's not.
performed
He's not
this year.
feeling
He
it
hasn't
yet
been
this
up there
year. I
this
read his
year.
Instagram post.
Oh, he said he's not feeling it.
No, but he said it's slow start to the year, but I'll pick it up.
I do have one.
So he is going to pick it up.
He's gonna pick it up, but not this week.
Oh,
Is that what he
ouch.
said? I'll get there, but after
He
Champions.
put it down at some point. He will go pick it
Did
up.
you pick Macbeth?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Smart.
What about an FPO player?
Right.
So that's 5.
I really think, I really like Kristen for this.
I was going to say that too, yeah.
I think Kristen is a great pick for this event.
For the Woods?
Yeah. Because I feel like she's got the distance, maybe not the most distance in the FPO division, but she's up there. She's got a great woods game. She can throw sidearms.
Yes.
I think
She can putt.
She is there, right?
she is registered.
She better.
Okay. When I go, that's my first time doing this. When I click save my picks, it says how many total strokes under par will the MPO and FPO championship or champions score?
Combined?
Combined, yes. I figure 4 rounds, MPO is probably going to be 40 under par for most events.
I don't
That
know.
would be sick. I
40 is.
would love that highlight reel.
This is 4 rounds.
10 under each round on
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah.
That's a
You think that's too much?
Well, what was it when Calvin and Adam, that was the most recent time they played there? 2019?
yeah.
Yeah.
What was the
That was
the winning score?
3 rounds. The
He
winning
was
score was
6 over.
25.
Oh.
25 under.
25 under. So
For how
they're
many rounds
averaging
did you say?
8 and a
3.
third.
3.
So 8 times.
I think 46 is a good number.
For both?
Yeah.
So what do you think the split will be then, MPO and FPO?
Does that matter?
No, I'm just curious.
Like 37 and 9.
Yeah. I like that number.
Not
I like
30
those
and
numbers.
16.
Okay.
Okay.
Saved, submitted. We have for my
Science
Grip
here,
6,
baby.
Ricky Wysocki. I'll tell you, I'll share the belt. We'll call it the Understable Minds Pick 6.
There we go.
There's Ricky Wysocki, Chris Dickerson, Matty O, Calvin Heimberg, Paul Macbeth, and Kristen Starr. Thanks, guys.
Also, everybody, be sure to update your fantasy lineups. Note to Anthony editing this in the future. Make sure you have a full lineup, bud, for the first time this year.
What happened last week? I haven't looked.
It was a silver series.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah,
nothing's
luckily we've
happened
had
yet.
2 weeks off, but man,
I've just
I
been
think that you
soaking.
and I blew it at Texas.
Oh, every single event so far, I have
Blew it.
blew myself.
I think I did pretty well. I think I'm
Yeah,
I
you're
bet
8
you-
and
Yeah,
1.
you're
8 and 1.
still-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
You're still
you guys
winning
should've
the whole
picked-
thing. You're
you
not
guys should've-
undefeated.
You guys should have picked.
I won
good
in
players.
Texas.
Yeah, Danny. Wait, what?
I'm 8 and 1.
You're overall. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
so you've got 2
take
first place and 1 second place in 3 weeks, 4th.
Okay.
I think I've got a bunch of fourth places.
Yeah. I think you got a 5th in there
you
somewhere.
got 2
There's only
fourth
4 of
places
us.
and an extra 4th place.
Anthony actually got 3rd in Texas.
Hey. Oh, that's right. I got 4th.
We got Vinny, though.
That's right.
Oh, but Chandler and Ben Calloway let you down.
Oh man.
They kind of did. But that's okay because I got to see both of them in person.
Hey,
Yeah.
AJ.
Good
Hey,
dudes.
Tony.
You know,
Daniel says on my pick 6, I picked too many dudes.
That's what I said. I said you got to pick at least a couple FPOs.
do we want to go 4 and 2?
That's what I would do. I would go
Mop
4
the
and
Who
2.
would you
Well,
drop of
copyright claim.
the dudes then?
Who were your
I would
4?
probably drop either Dickerson or
So we've got Ricky, Dickerson, Matteo, Calvin, and Macbeth.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to drop any of those.
It's probably
it's probably the top. It's probably Dickerson or Matty-O.
yeah. But who do you drop him for?
What if it was Macbeth? What if it's just like
It
he's
very well
going for
could
the
be.
win and he doesn't win, so he ends up finishing like 10th. And then
It's entirely possible.
so maybe we should drop
FPO
Macbeth.
wise,
Yes,
I would say
Paige,
Cat
Val,
to DGA.
Sarah
event.
Hokum.
I would say
Hokum
Cat.
could be a
good
Hokum's a
Hokum.
good pick in the woods with the forehand.
Own could have a good weekend. Feel like she's kind of in the fairway.
I heard
makes
she's
her
been
putts.
owning
Or-
lately.
Oh,
Actually, who's been owning lately apparently is Valerie Mandahanu, who is averaging.
a second place finish this year.
So
Right. Yes.
I would say Val for me. would
Okay.
be my pick.
Yeah.
Drop Dickerson, pick up Val.
I think it's between Kat and Val for me.
Yeah.
My only hesitancy with Val is that we
Okay.
haven't, I guess Waco. Shut up, Anthony.
She
I
won.
was going to say we haven't seen her on like a wooded stretch yet, except for the one time that she won. So don't listen to this guy. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Drop Dickerson, add Val.
Wysocki, Matteo, Calvin Heimberg, Macbeth, Kristen Tatar, Valerie Mandahano.
That's a pretty good.
It's
pretty good
interesting
squad right
not
there.
having the salary cap.
Yes.
Like Skip Ace normal picks, you have like that salary cap. This is different. I like it.
Dude, I don't know. I think Dickerson might.
He might.
He might.
I
Well,
hope
then
he does.
put him on
Just
your
might.
pick 6 there, bruh.
Yeah.
Well, you're trying to
And I'll
steal my
just-
belt?
Get your own belt, guy.
I thought it was our belt.
So, oh, that's true.
All right.
That's why I have Dickerson on my fantasy team.
That has nothing to do with a belt.
It
There are
does
no
because
belt-
I
there are
don't
no belts
because
involved.
I'm ready for him to not be there so he can perform for me.
Oh, this is like this is one of these. I get it.
Yeah.
Eric's not actually on our side, guys.
Calvin,
No, I'm actually
notice
not.
how I left you in the grip 6, pick 6.
Eagle,
You got this.
I
bud.
take back everything I said about
Yeah,
it's the
because
first time
all
he's
of these
played in
players
the
are actually give.
Well, they're listening.
saw
they're
Eagle in the
listening
chat
right now.
earlier.
Yeah,
Sure.
Eagles in the chat.
Uh huh.
All right, let's move on to
I'll bet.
building
Calvin's in the chat.
our golfer.
Chris left the chat.
Last
Because-
week. Okay, we're going to move on to building our golfer. Last week, we built a prototypical, AJ alluded to it earlier, as a mecha golfer, and we used only MPO players, and we did it together. But this time, You guys had the assignment, the homework to build your own player using only FPO players. But the stipulation is that you can't take someone from an already represented sponsor. So to use Dynamic Discs team as an example, if you want to pick Valerie Mondahano, you cannot also then pick Kona Panis. The categories that we've got are the same. We've got backhand, forehand, circle 1 putting, circle 2 putting, mentality, and then just kind of overall style, whether that be flair on the course, your shot selection, your outfits, anything like that.
Your putt celebration.
Your celebrations, absolutely. Do we want to hear like one person's full player, or do we want to go everybody's backhand, hear everybody's forehand?
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. I will start.
You start it up.
As the one making the rules, I will start and I will give my backhand pick, which was Miss Evelina Salonen.
Oh, that's a good
took
pick.
Evelina. I think she has, in looking at the UDisc stats, she is at or near the top in most all of the driving categories. She is predominantly a backhand player. I think she has one of the better backhands in the FPO division. I think it was a great start to my Mecca
Evelina's a good pick.
golfer. Eric, who is your backhand pick?
I went for distance on my backhand.
Oh,
is what I decided. So I went with Ella Hansen.
Okay.
nice.
She smashes.
She definitely
She throws
does.
a disc very, very far and effortless.
Yes.
So that's that's a disc mania player for me. So
AJ?
Well, got my notes. Got my notes here. Also, you said the word homework, and I'm kind of triggered.
Okay.
But I've got my notes here.
This was
I'll fight through.
your take-home assignment for the
I
last.
didn't hear the word homework.
He's definitely said it.
Eric doesn't listen in school.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, AJ, backhand, who you got?
Well, I wrote down 4 names.
Well, you only get one.
Come on, do you ever follow rules, bro? Who's going to win the tournament? Well, I'll tell you who's getting the top 10.
Yeah.
Come on.
You get to pick. This isn't Sudoku. You gotta pick one.
Well, I only say that. I'm gonna try not to yell into Danny's ears.
You got one player. Backhand, go.
It's Katrina was the name that I chose.
Katrina is.
I
your
also
name.
wrote down
Nope.
Ella, Paige, and Evelina. That's why I said that.
All
Because
great names.
I've considered.
Here are 4 of the best
guess what?
FPO throwers.
I mean, I'm not telling you everybody that I considered because I considered everybody for every single slot.
AJ is. I
Right?
guarantee you,
Right?
AJ is going to get.
I didn't consider everyone for that slot either. I considered 4 people.
That's 3.
Well, we're not
more than
asking for who you
Right.
consider. We're asking for your final pick.
Okay,
AJ will be getting a C- for this homework assignment. He gets half credit.
just trying to make up for lost time when I turned all those 5-page essays in with only 1 page.
Perfect. Totally
Double
great.
spaced.
Right, because this is.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Am I the only one that picked Paige Pierce for her backhand?
You are the 4th player to pick, so I'm
are.
going to go out on a limb here and
note,
say,
but-
yes, you are.
I only wrote
on my
down
sticky
one
notes.
note, and it's Paige Pierce because she's just far and above the best.
She's far and above the best in every category, so
That is true.
Right.
And I think
It's not true.
for the most
that's
part,
fine.
Okay.
I think
it
backhand is easily the most important
Except her
one
style?
because it's the distance. Yeah, I want to go with Paige.
She's got great style.
She has good style too. She hasn't won anything this year.
I think
Paige
he
is
should go next.
A great pick. Okay, so
we
we'll
can go
go
backwards.
kind of snake order.
Yeah.
Forehand. I bet we'll have a little bit of overlap here, but Danny, who you got for forehand?
Yeah, I bet
Sarah Hokum.
AJ? Okay, skip him.
Actually,
I put. Guess whose name is on the list?
the whole
like
FPO.
four.
I chose. God. If you weren't wearing the same shirt as me, right? now.
Give us one name and then we'll go back to Danny.
Jessica.
Okay.
ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good name.
3 syllables.
Danny,
Never mind. I
My
was
bad.
gonna say Haley King because she has a pretty big flick too. But I realized Paige Pierce and Haley are on the same team.
Correct.
So,
No, they're
they're not. She's
Haley's
Innova.
on
That's
Innova
right.
now.
That throws off the rest of my things. I'm only gonna just Sarah.
Okay. EMAC.
I went with Sarah as
That
well.
is
I mean,
a-
she's dominant.
Yeah, a third Hokum from me.
Yeah.
Her sidearm is, I think it's the best in the field. That was the easiest pick for me.
Me
for
too.
Sure.
Me too.
Honorable mentions, I think, are Jessica Weiss.
It's not honorable. I mean, he picked her.
Yeah, he did. AJ did. I'm completely blanking on the name.
She's doing pretty well in the DGPT standings so far.
How am I totally blanking on the name of this player?
Describe the player to us.
She throws forehands.
Black hair, throws forehands, toured with Paige a few years ago.
Madison.
That's it. Madison Walker. Doesn't she throw forehands pretty good?
She does.
She has a great forehand. I don't know if she does it as much anymore. I know she really worked on her backhand.
That is true,
I think she was getting injured a little bit, but yeah, she's got a great forehand.
Haley.
Yep. All right.
Cool. I like it.
Circle 1 putting. I put Val for this one.
Hey,
she's third in the field. I think she has a great putt, and I think it's only getting better the more comfortable she gets with the discs. Yeah. You got Eric.
Exactly the same.
Nice.
Valerie. Yep. She's just so confident.
Yeah.
Like watching her play this season has been awesome. So yeah, definitely Valerie is my putter.
Throw a dartboard at your list of names. Who you got for us?
Throw
a dart at your dartboard, whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I meant.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Well, you see, I wrote down 8 names.
This one was tough too, man. I wrote
They're
down
all tough.
I wrote down 3 names, and I picked Heather Young.
All right.
Danny,
quickly, please start talking.
Also, I got Heather Young.
Okay. Circle 2 putting. Who you got, Danny?
I have Scoggins.
She
drains from downtown.
But wait, she's in it.
Not as much as my pick.
He didn't take Haley.
No,
I thought he did take Haley.
I haven't taken it.
I apologize.
No, he took Heather.
I apologize.
No, I follow the rules, Eric.
AJ, who's your Circle 2 putt?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Paige Pierce.
EMAC?
That's who my Circle 2 putter is, Paige Pierce.
I took Paige as well. She's leading the field, I do believe. If she's not leading, she's tied for the leader second.
If there's anybody in the field that I would want to hit the Circle 2 putt, it's Paige.
Sandra Richardson is currently leading at 27%, and then Paige Pierce has at 25%.
Yeah. So I don't know what Sandra Richardson's attempt is. I would be willing to bet Paige's is a little bit bigger sample size.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no offense to Sandra, I just am not familiar with her. My mentality.
It was tough to pick. Like picking Paige for that Circle 2 meant that I couldn't pick Missy for the Circle 1.
Correct. And she has a very good Circle 1 putt. She's a former putting world champion, I believe.
When I started this list, see how there's like a dozen names written down
for each category. I do see that.
The first name that I wrote down was Paige in the Circle 2 putting.
Yep. The first name.
That's the smart one, I think.
The first name that I wrote down was Sarah Hokum for my fourth.
Feels like
Circle
it.
1.
What?
Who'd you take in Circle 1?
Who did you take in Circle 1? Heather Young.
Okay. Yeah. She's a great putter.
I also wrote down Owen Scoggins for Circle 1.
I didn't ask who else you wrote down.
The second name that I put down was for my mentality, and I put Kat. I think Kat. I think she is. I don't know. I think she just kind of gets into this mindset of like, I'm winning this tournament. You can't tell me I'm not going to. And that's very large percentage of the time she does.
Do your last 2 on this last round.
Okay, so
let's do that.
My mentality, I've got Kat, and then for my style, I have Kristen.
That's a good one.
Kristen's got some sweet outfits. She's got some sick polos that I wish I could wear. Yeah.
So I have Kristen as my clutch, or what did you mentality?
Yeah, it's a great pick.
That's what I
mean. She won the major last year, and
she's never flustered.
Yeah,
she always.
No matter what happens, she just seems to always be focused.
Which major? What? She won the major.
She won the U.S. Women's. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but she's got that major that she won.
Yeah, she did win U.S. Women's.
Yeah,
1 year. Yeah.
What are you questioning here?
You said
just go on to your style. I don't know what is going on.
She won a major last year. Like she won the U.S. Women's. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but she still won the event.
That's what I'm questioning. You said the major.
The guy that picks 12 people for one is questioning me.
Yeah, as if he's going to be. Now you're going to stick to rules
because last year there was Worlds and the Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championship.
Great,
and Kristen won neither.
Okay, so it wasn't last year.
That's a great point, AJ. Eric, who do you have for your style?
Jesus, Louise. I don't even remember now. You got me all. Oh, I did have Kat
because you don't have a sticky note
so
with your answer.
I have not the 1980s version. Actually, I'm up to date and I have it all on my notes on my phone.
AJ,
so
pick one.
Pick your third style for us, please.
Mentality and style.
It's tough to pick. I'll tell you what.
Who you got?
I picked Kristen for the mentality.
It seems because she won a major.
Yes,
Last year?
She's won a major.
The last year the event happened.
Right.
And who did you have for style?
Who'd I have for style? I think I
Pick it up. It's right there.
I remember.
Oh.
Madison Walker. She's got good style too.
Yep.
So does Cat Merch. So does Kona Panis.
MVP.
I didn't pick
She's
any.
MVP.
Who is?
right?
Yeah.
Right. But I picked Jessica.
Oh, you
Weiss
Jessica,
from
that's right.
Beforehand.
That's right. Danny, who do you have for your last?
Jessica's been proven
Mentality, I have
year.
Valerie Mondahano,
Mhm.
just because you can tell she's always pushing herself, driving herself, and she doesn't tend to get too like flustered or up and down just from walking with her at Texas. And then style, I have, just like Anthony, I have Kristen.
Yeah. Cool. If you are here live, let us know in the chat who you would pick. If you're not watching live, let us know down in the comments below what your player would be, how your mecha golfer, how they would be constructed. Let us know. We'll take a look at those. Really quick, we have time for one squad question before we do have to get out of here. Eric, since you know how to follow the rules and answer questions the way that they're asked.
Non-disc golf.
There's only two. They're both disc golf.
Oh, number 2.
Number 2. This comes to us from Cole. Cole said, if you had to pick a disc in the Dynamic Discs lineup to represent you, which would you pick? Then he said it doesn't necessarily have to be your favorite. And I'm going to throw out a stipulation for you, Eric, that you can't just pick an EMAC Truth or EMAC Judge because it has your name on it.
So it does represent me.
Right. You can pick one of those discs if you would like. But the reason cannot be, well, because it's my name.
Okay.
But because it's my name.
So if you had to pick a disc in the DD lineup to represent you, what would you pick? It's a tough question.
It's a tough one because there is a lot. I mean,
and how do you relate?
Just DD?
Just the Dynamic Discs lineup. How do you relate?
Because this is a trustworthy fellow. So I would imagine he would pick Trust if he could.
He says
I would
the
not
truth.
pick Trust because truth came first. And you can trust your truth.
There
Always.
you go. This is a tough question.
It is tough because, I mean,
AJ, stop messing with the mic.
what would it be? I mean, like,
Right? How do you want to do it? Do you want to take, like, do you say a putter because, I like to live a slower pace of life. So I took something that's slow and kind of, I'm a pretty, I don't know. I don't like to make snap decisions. So I'm going to go with a Warden because it's kind of slow. It's nice and straight, very steady.
I have mine. I can go.
or I'm going to go with a Trespass because I'm super underrated.
There you go. Hit us with yours,
Yeah.
Danny.
I'm gonna go with the
It's
Vandal.
not true, but
I feel like fun to throw. Just you can throw some cool lines. Just the vibe of the Vandal is kind of, I feel like the vibe that I want to represent me.
Last name is pretty similar.
That's true. Vandal and Doll.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
Close. Yeah.
This is close.
If you take
close.
the
think your
first
name's
syllable
closer.
of my first name and the second syllable of my last name, you get Dandel,
Oh.
like the lion.
What?
And like Dandelion.
oh,
There you go.
I was thinking like a cartoon character lion, like Disney or something.
like a weed. That's a weed.
I'm a weed, guys.
And I bet if you were to spray like weed killer on Danny, after long enough, he would probably leave.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. Yeah.
I guess I am going to just stick with Trespass because I'm pretty neutral. I get along with pretty much everybody,
Okay.
like the Trespass.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a good pick.
right? Trespass gets along. Do you get along with the Trespass? Yeah.
You just can't ask AJ questions
I guess
today.
not.
I think my pick is going to be, it might be influenced a little bit by the fact that I like it, but I think I'm going to go with the Suspect
Okay.
because
Because it's out of production. You're about to get fired.
Well, wait, what?
He's wearing the right shirt.
I'm just.
No, I think like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it as like the media team. Like when we were in Texas, people would be like, oh, that's Danny. Danny, can you sign a disc? Oh, and there's AJ. Hey, can you sign it too? And like most people are like, oh, I love the harp or I like the Justice or whatever. And the Suspect is like a kind of more unknown overstable approach disc.
And there's a lot of them coming out this year.
And it gets the job done.
Does that mean I'm not fired then?
Yes.
Thank you. Nailed the answer.
Yes.
And it gets the job done. Way to go,
Gets the
AJ.
job done.
All right, AJ,
Maverick, easy.
because
that's, I can't remember what the definition is, but that's me.
you make the definition.
Because you have a mustache.
Because that's me.
Because you like Top Gun.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
You
growing up.
enjoy hanging out with my dog, Maverick.
I mean, same.
Maverick. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's the name.
Is it because people called you Goose growing up?
Oh,
No, there's no.
It's not a Top Gun reference.
I gotta
Big Tom
look up
Cruise
whatever.
guy or what? What's
No, I think it's just a unique.
This might be the only time I'll ask you this,
Unique
AJ.
person,
but can you
unique-
please expand on your answer a little bit?
Yeah, I'll expand.
A little bit,
Uh,
just a little bit.
Just
Give us 3 sentences.
thanks to my modern day sticky note,
one.
an orthodox or independent minded person. That's a maverick,
There you go.
and I am pretty far from orthodox. I
Just-
tell you what.
Just clear, you're not like a Logan Paul guy, are you?
No.
Okay, good.
Well, I don't really know much about him.
Okay.
I know he fought Floyd Mayweather. Wasn't he the one that fought Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather? There you go.
Generally not,
Doesn't he have a brother?
Yeah. Not advisable to fight
but like
Floyd Mayweather.
his fans or he calls them Mavericks. But we're just clarifying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Unorthodox and independent minded.
There you
Sure.
go.
Anyways,
All right. So thank you for the question, Cole. If you want to get your question asked on the show, you can do so by joining the squad at squad.dynamicdiscs.com. That is all the time we've got for episode Blue, number 22. I've had
22.
an hour and a bit to think of a better way to rhyme those
Blue
two.
episode.
22.
The blue episode.
Can't do it.
say it up.
You could say I blew that one. Danny's in here calling plays. That's all the time we've got. We will catch everybody next week.
On
Be
the
sure to
Jordan episode.
the Jordan episode. There we go. Be sure to pick up your Sockibomb Slammers on April 19th at 11 a.m. Central Time. Or you can potentially win one from Ricky himself. We will see everybody next Tuesday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Dynamic Discs YouTube channel.